Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally back with another video, and it is a fun one. It is going to be my tattoo tour video. As you can see, I have quite a few tattoos, probably since the last time you saw me. I've been pretty busy in that area, so I figured I would show you guys where I'm at, go over my tattoos, meanings, pain, all that fun stuff. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about my tattoos, just keep on watching. My first tattoo. I actually can't show you on camera because I've since had it covered up, but I did keep a photo just for this video because I wanted to show you guys and kind of go over it anyway. I didn't get it covered because I hated it or that I regretted it really. I had the arrow tattoo. I'll show you guys right now. So I got this tattoo when I was about 17 years old, and at the time I loved the meaning behind it. I found it on Pinterest, I believe. It's basically just saying for an arrow to be launched, for an arrow to move forward, it first needs to be pulled back. And it kind of represents life and how things will pull you back, and it's important to know that you're gonna move on, good things are gonna happen, and to not let that keep you where you are, I guess. Hopefully I explained that properly. But I honestly, it was my first tattoo. I didn't have any knowledge when it came to tattoos. I didn't do any research for tattoo artists. All I knew was tattoos were so expensive. What I wanted was so small, so in my head I just didn't justify paying the price. But everyone, please, if you learned something from this video, pay the price for a good artist because it's night and day difference. So this tattoo is 40 bucks. It is like a story time of itself. It was the sketchiest experience I've ever had in my life. And I had gone to this guy, it was a coworker's friend, recommended it. She had two tattoos by him and they looked fine, but I think it's just because they were like friends. I don't know. If you guys want to hear more about my first experience getting a tattoo, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to tell that. So pain-wise, really didn't hurt. It was great that way. It was about a 4 out of 10. Really manageable, nothing bad about it. And honestly, I probably would have kept that tattoo if it was done better. I really do, like I said, like the meaning. I like the look of an arrow tattoo, but it just wasn't great. And as I got like nicer pieces on my arm, I could really tell the difference in quality, and I just hated it. So when I had my arm done, I had the option to keep the arrow and have it incorporate with like my other tattoos or just cover it all together. And I'm honestly happy that I got it covered. I don't miss it whatsoever. I look down, I feel like it all flows, and that was just what I decided to do. My second tattoo. So I waited about 2-3 years or more actually. It wasn't until I moved to Regina that I got my second tattoo, and it is this little guy on my inner forearm. So I got this when I moved to Regina. It wasn't planned. Honestly, I had gone to an appointment with a friend and he just happened to have some time, so he slotted me in for this little guy. And this one honestly doesn't have a whole lot of meaning. It does have a little bit of meaning after the fact, I realized, but I honestly found this on Pinterest, on the internet, and I just love forget-me-nots. I think they're so cute. The photo that I found was so incredibly dainty and I just loved it. I thought this placement would be perfect, and I'm so right. Like, I love this placement. Every time I do my hair or like my arm lifts up, I can see it. It's very cute. It's my only color tattoo piece and it's probably gonna stay that way. I am just someone who would probably obsess with colors. Like if my arm was in color, I would like be overthinking like, oh, does this clash with my outfit? Like things like that, and I didn't want that for my like sanity. So this is probably gonna be my only color tattoo, which I'm totally fine with. This guy didn't hurt very much at all, maybe like a 5 out of 10, and I love it. The meaning it kind of has now, my best friend back home, every time I look at it, it makes me think of her. When we were kids, she had given me like a little locket with a forget-me-not in it from her mom's garden, and it was supposed to help us do well on tests and exams, and I don't know, I just always think of Anna, shout out, when I look at this, and I don't know, that makes me happy. Tattoo number 3 is this piece right here. So this piece is my sister tattoo, has lots of meaning. The main piece of the tattoo is the Roman numerals. So that is my younger sister, my birthday, and my older sister's birth like day. So it's 27, 17, 29. That was something that my sister and I kind of decided that we were gonna do. 2 out of 3 sisters have it. I don't think Kyra, my older sister, will ever get a tattoo. She likes the idea of them, but she can't bring herself to actually do it. So we'll see. She has her whole life to figure that out. But Amanda, my sister, has it. She has a quite large Roman numeral here, and then me, I have a smaller Roman numeral, and I added in the flowers, which I'm obsessed with. Like, I always knew I wanted florals. That's the arm, but I knew I love floral tattoos, specifically for the roses. I didn't want like super realistic. As much, I have so much appreciation for like realism tattoos. I do, I love them. For myself, I am not a fan of that style on my body. I don't know. I'm just more drawn to like vintage, traditional kind of style, and all my tattoos I feel like are kind of like in the middle of that area. So yeah, so this is all line work. It's absolutely beautiful, no shading whatsoever. It's 3 roses to represent the 3 sisters, and I have some berries and leaves, and it's just all lines, and it looks just so amazing. I love this. Ever since I got it, I get so many compliments on it. The placement is amazing. And this is actually when I found my current tattoo artist. So he's done all my tattoos since, other than one, I want to say, but he's amazing. He's local in Regina. I can link his info down below. Asher is phenomenal. My 4th tattoo, I have to think for a second. I honestly didn't think I'd be this kind of person. Okay, so my 4th and 5th tattoo I actually got at the same time. So I'll show you guys what those look like. So the first one is this Roman numeral, not Roman numeral, coordinate tattoo that is on the back of my arm, kind of here. This is Halifax. It's the coordinates for Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's my home, it's where I'm from. And I knew I wanted to have a tattoo to incorporate home, just because that's really where my heart is. I didn't want like a lighthouse, or I don't know. I just thought coordinates were such a good idea, and no one really knows what they're for, so it always brings a question up. It's kind of like a conversation starter. I really love it. It's just like basically like if you were to Google Halifax, Nova Scotia coordinates, it's the same font, but I like it. It's very clear, it's very clean, and I have no complaints. So it does have a meaning towards me because it just represents home. So for those who don't know, my husband's name is Jared. So yes, this is a J for Jared. I don't need any haters being like, why did you do that? That's so stupid. Why? What if you break up? I honestly wanted to get this in high school. I've been with him since high school, and I stopped myself and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait, just make sure that we stay together, and we're married now, and I'm pretty confident we're not gonna break up. You know what? If we break up, J for Jesus. I don't know, like, but I love this so much. Pain for both of these, really minimal. This one maybe a little bit more just because it's near the elbow. This one was nothing, like a 3. And I just love this. It's so incredibly dainty. Again, the lines are perfect. Asher is phenomenal with lines. If you want to trust anyone with something like this, go to him. But this is probably like one of my favorite tattoos. It's just so small and visible. I love visible tattoos. It's always been my thing. Number 6 is a little piece I have on my ankle, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. So this has meaning and it doesn't really have meaning. This is a piece that I got back home right before my wedding, actually. 2 of my bridesmaids from Regina, never been to the East Coast before, and we had gone to Vegas in June, I want to say, of this past year, and we had the idea we were all gonna get little matching tattoos to kind of like, you know, a memory of the trip. We'd have it together on all of us, and it would just be something special that we share, and it never ended up happening. So we knew when we went to Halifax, we wanted to get something again to just make the trip even more special and share something with each other. So we decided to get a little anchor, and I honestly love this. I'll probably have to get it touched up down the road. The lines are just so thin that there's some areas where the ink is falling out, which is fine, whatever, but it's so dainty, it's so cute. It's probably gonna be the only piece I have on my legs. We'll see. I've tossed around the idea of a thigh piece, but I kind of like all the central, like tattoos centralized to one limb, if that makes sense. Like I really like looking in the mirror in like a swimsuit or something, and my body essentially when I'm like standing in front of you is like completely bare. There's nothing on my body other than these 2 little ones, and everything's on this arm, and I kind of really like that look. So we'll see, time will tell. But this one hurt a little bit more. It was at the ankle, so very, very bony, but it was so short and so small that it wasn't bad. I think we're on number 8. My 8th tattoo is kind of the start of my sleeve. Yes, I'm working on a sleeve, which is so crazy to me. I really wanted to wait on this. When I got married, I had this large piece here and just like the little guy here, as well as my arrow that's been covered up. I'll show you guys that in a second. But I knew for my wedding, and nothing against tattoos for your wedding, I just knew I wanted to look a certain way and to look back at photos and have a very classic, timeless look. And it's not that I don't love my tattoos. I'm so happy I finally have them and this is happening. But I'm just so thankful that I waited and I have those photos to look back on because I love them. Like I just knew that I wouldn't be as happy if I had all my tattoos for my wedding day. Whatever, to each their own, but this is why I waited. So basically right after the wedding, I booked a tattoo and it is this piece here. So these sunflowers, I knew number one, if I was gonna do a sleeve, I wanted to have some kind of theme and not be like super random, to kind of make sense and flow. And again, I knew there was one constant throughout all the years that I've loved tattoos is that I'm always drawn to floral nature pieces. And I liked a certain kind of style. So I went on with another floral on my arm, and I knew the first one that I wanted was sunflowers. These really don't have any meaning to me other than the fact I love sunflowers. I just think they're like the happiest flower ever, and they're just beautiful and they're very unique looking. So I decided to get two sunflowers here. I love the placement. My artist actually suggested where they were. I was gonna get it kind of more on the inside of my arm, but I love where the leaf hits me. This one didn't hurt at all. What's great about my artist too, he works very fast, so this only took about an hour and a half, I want to say. But it was maybe like a 6 or 7, and I love it, and it kind of started the whole sleeve. As soon as I got back from my vacation, or I should say my honeymoon, I booked another session with Asher, and this time the main priority was to cover that arrow. So that arrow originally was right on this arm, just on the inside, and I'll show you guys up close what I did. So let me start though. This, I sat in one session. So all that was on my arm were these sunflowers, my arrow to cover, but I did all of these florals at once. I did a bad thing and I showed up dehydrated, hungover. I didn't eat anything, not really realizing like what kind of condition you need to be in for a tattoo, especially if you're sitting for like over 2 hours. I did it. It was the most painful and uncomfortable thing. I remember being like cold sweats. Like my palms were cold and sweaty because I was just like not in a good place. Don't do that. No, zero meaning for this whole forearm, other than the fact that I literally showed up and I was like, listen, I want my arrow covered. This is what it looks like. I'm thinking nature. I'm thinking maybe like let's go with more florals because I think it's really pretty. And he literally just sketched some freehanded flowers and like placed them all over my arm so they made sense. He took a Sharpie and kind of like put it all together, and it turned out perfect. I actually love the look of my forearm. I love how full it looks, and eventually I'd like to have this kind of full look up my arm, but baby steps, people. I heard somewhere that it's really important to really enjoy each step of your sleeve, and it was very hard for me to do that, especially like at the stage where I had this piece, my sunflowers, and my arrow, because it looked so unbalanced, and my OCD self was like, I can't do this, like I need to get something done like now. And ever since then I've been like dealing with it, and it's been a lot more manageable. This is my favorite part of this whole forearm, these pretty leaves. I'm actually thinking of adding a couple more coming out here, just in the back. But I love them. I think they're so pretty. And he knocked it over the head. These are just peonies, and then I have another rose right here, which is like a different style than my other ones. So I love how it's same but different. So this piece I actually just got in, what month has it just passed? In February. I just had it done in February. It's about 3 weeks old now. This tattoo has loads of meaning for me. It is, well, number one, I have a lot of florals, obviously, so now what I'm gonna start to do is incorporate some other nature pieces into the sleeve, just so it's not just like barfing flowers, as much as I'd be happy with that too. I am planning on incorporating just some more nature pieces, maybe some more like animal things. We'll see. I have a lot of ideas. But this piece is special. I knew I wanted birds, and I knew I wanted something meaningful in this area, and obviously it's a big part of my arm, it's the majority of it. So what this is, it's two birds. They don't really represent anything. I guess you could say they represent Jared and I because the rest of the tattoo is related to our wedding. So I had sent Asher a photo of my wedding bouquet, which was so unique. It had like baby eucalyptus in it, berries, cranberries were in it, thistles, just stunning. I can show you guys maybe a photo of what that looked like. It was beautiful. So I sent that to Asher and I told him I want a piece where there's birds, there's florals for my wedding bouquet, and I wanted to just kind of make sense. I found some inspiration on Pinterest again. That's where I find all my inspiration. But I had sent him a photo of what I was thinking along with my wedding bouquet, and he designed this, and I love it. I love that the birds are, again, borderline like realism, traditional, vintage style tattoos. They turned out perfect, and I just love the pieces that he did use. Like the thistles I love, the beads I asked him to add in, the hanging jewels. It's just very pretty and dainty and I love it. So this definitely has a lot of meaning for me. The pain was great. not great, but super manageable. There was not one piece of this tattoo that hurt, honestly. Like I feel like this is probably the best place to get your first tattoo. There's just like flesh, like there's nothing painful. No pieces kind of hanging near my elbow, so really, really manageable. But yes, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions about tattoos, or if you want me to do a kind of like Q&A, anything at all about sleeves, tattoos, feel free to ask. I'll help as best as possible. My one recommendation is to do your research, make sure that you love something before you put it on your body. Obviously it is permanent and it is going to be with you for life, so just keep that in mind before you go and tattoo yourself. At the end, I'll show you guys a little bit up close of what everything looks like together, because I know sometimes it's hard to piece together what it looks like. Keeping in mind this is still under construction, it is not done yet, and I feel like once it is done, it's gonna be just so amazing. I plan on going back to Asher in April. He's pretty booked up, he's on vacation right now, and it probably will be a little bit until I finish everything. I'm saving this back piece here for something I really want. Like really want. It's kind of my last area for like prime real estate, like a good piece to go. I've used everything else up, so I'm waiting on that for now, but I do have a couple ideas and I'm just excited to get it done. So that's it, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.